Well, welcome to the Business Exchange, the show where we talk with industry innovators who are transforming how business gets done. I'm your host, Joseph, and today we're diving into one of the most exciting frontiers in technology, robotics and automation in the service industry. Joining me is Marianela. She's the CEO and founder from To Do Robotics, a company leading the charge in delivering intelligent, practical robot solutions across hospitality, real estate, retail, and cleaning sectors. Founded in 2022 and proudly WBENC certified, To Do Robotics is not just selling robots, they're helping businesses solve real operational challenges, from labor shortages to rising costs, while unlocking new levels of efficiency and customer experience. We'll talk about the growth story and what it takes to bring robotics into traditional service environments and what the future looks like for automation in America's business landscape. Marianela, welcome to the Business Exchange, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Thank you for having me. It's a great
Yes,
experience.
you're quite welcome. Beautiful. Well, let's start with the story behind today's To Do Robotics. How did the company begin, and what inspired your creation in 2022?
Yes, I actually had the opportunity to, work all my life pretty much in technology. So I had that love of technology and new frontiers and innovation. I started actually working in hardware and software solutions, sales of hardware and software solutions in different bars, in different organizations. Work also in the part of technology and deployment of technologies like a big box, low cabling, or POS deployment projects in big retails, big box retail. So that gave me the background to actually understand the part of innovation, the part of sales, but also the part of service. With that framework, I had the opportunity in 2020, at the beginning of 2022, to work with a company that wanted to launch and explore new lines of business. And robotics was one of the ideas that actually we put on the table. I developed the initial research in the project, worked in the project for around 8 months. We tested in different ways, and it was so positive. We actually presented to the board, but guess what? The board say no. And but I knew that the project was incredible, and I fell in love with this one, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. I left the company. I opened my own company, and
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic. So your mission statement emphasizes maximizing human potential through robotics. Can you expand on what that means in practice?
well, there is the understanding, or the 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 false idea that the robots are overtaking and will take every job in the future. That is not happening. That is not happening right now, and probably not in the upcoming 30 years. What the robots are doing right now is actually assisting and giving
Yes.
a little bit of bread to the people that actually doing repetitive jobs. The robots are very good right now, as we are looking at the robots doing a specific jobs, like for instance, floor cleaning. You had the robots that can act as a vacuum, and this is a matter of fact that one of the first robots that we have been dealing with, it had been the Roomba. The Roomba is actually is an
Yeah.
autonomous vacuum that a residential site had been actually working in our houses for the last 9 years, and the
Yeah.
people is actually used to that concept. Now, imagine that we apply that for bigger areas. Let's having a
Hmm.
commercial Roomba. And that's what we are doing right now when we talk about robotics. So there are autonomous machines that actually are able to perform a job in a very, very specific and effective way, and is helping the people that actually is taking care of that task of cleaning. Now, we're talking about cleaning, but the same thing happened, for instance, in the serving industry, in restaurants, where you had these waiters or the runners go back and forth, back and forth. Then imagine that you don't have that runner, but you had actually a robot that is going the back and forth. Now, it doesn't mean that you will not need a runner. We still need somebody that actually will put the food inside the robot in the kitchen and then will serve the food when arrived to the actual table. But actually, this process is actually streamlined and doing in the most effective way. So that's why our tagline is automating tasks, maximizing human value. It's not that the person is actually put it at the side, the person is actually now assisted by him. And that is the function that we see actually the robots doing right now.
Gotcha. So many people still think robotics as something futuristic. What's the real world need to do robotics is solving right now for your clients?
Right now is like very specific jobs. As I say, we have the cleaning robots that actually are working in settings to clean the floor cleaning. And we're talking about vacuuming, scrubbing, mopping, sweeping. Anything that is related with the cleaning of the floors, we have in our portfolio 15 different machines that varies depending the function of the robot and how big is the area. So there are some machines that are able to do dry cleaning and wet cleaning in the same machine. There are some machines that are huge and they are specialized and can do up to 32,000 square feet per hour and can work 8 hours in a row. So we have everything in between. It doesn't exist really a robot that fit every cleaning space because it's impossible to do it. So that's why we actually partners with different manufacturers to have this array of options to our clients.
Gotcha. So the hospitality and food industries have faced major challenges from labor shortages to high turnover. How have to-dos robots help businesses navigate these issues?
Well, this is actually say this is the additional help that every restaurant owner or hotel manager is having at their fingertips. We have in situations where we know that, for instance, our restaurants or the owners of the restaurants that had the robot, they had told me directly, and this is actually 2 years and a half to almost 3 years of business working already with the robot. So we had data that is behind that. That actually one of the biggest advantages of having the robot, for instance, the delivery robot, the delivery robot in a restaurant is like, for instance, when there is this high peaks of turnover in the personnel inside the restaurant, the restaurant manager can still count that there is always a server, a runner that is there.
Yes.
And that is the thing. So no matter what, it's not going to miss, it's not going to arrive late, it's not going to go and hide in the bathroom for hours. So, it's a steady one. It might be a little bit slow, but hey, it's a steady. And now with the new versions that we have actually robots, the new versions of the robots that go into that environment actually have AI incorporated and are able to actually interact very
Right.
smooth with the customer. Sometimes too much, because then we have some kind of chatty waiter, but yeah, we can modulate actually that kind of interaction as well.
Yeah, for sure. We've all had two chatty waitresses at times when you were just wishing, just be quiet and go get my food.
Exactly. So same thing with the robot. It's not that yes, if you put the full interaction mode, that it will actually respond every questions and then tell me a joke and do the things and how is it better and this and that. They say yes, she can go over and over and over. But I say it can,
Yeah.
that's not the purpose of the serving part.
So, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions businesses have about robots before they start exploring it?
The first one is the misperception about what the robot can do or cannot do. This is something
Right.
that I had to face all the time. There is this idea that, for instance, the people had that, Elon Musk and the Optimus, the humanoid trying to do everything, and that is what they say. Well, not really. We are not there yet. And as I said, we will have at least another 15 years to really have a system that is smooth enough and stable enough to have day-to-day interaction and a pace of a human person, because that's the other thing. As you notice, every video that you see in Instagram, it is actually related, and it's a compendium and a summary of thousands of hours of doing trial and error, and
Yeah.
then they edit, and what you see is the perfect behavior. But in real life, I mean, it's still we're not there yet. The robots, the humanoid sides are still too slow, not at the really kind of pace.
Yeah.
It's becoming better and better, and this is the beauty of technology. We are accelerating, and this the exponential actually improvement, but still we are still far away. What we have right now actually is our machines that actually it is able to do a specific task in a repetitive way, like for instance in the restaurant, going back and forth, bringing food from the kitchen to the counter in the kitchen to each one of the tables, or for instance in a hotel setting, cleaning the corridors, the hallways,
Yes.
in the rooms of the lobby. So these are tasks that actually the robots, we can do it, we can program, and that is the real actually type of job, repetitive, very specific job that
Yes.
the robot can be doing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I can understand that, especially on the repetitive stuff.
yeah,
And that's the same with a lot of business using AI, is to use AI to get rid of that repetitive stuff that was always in human hands and turn it over to AI and let it take care of it. So you describe To Do Robotics approach as partnership, not just a transaction. Walk us through what the process looks like from the first conversation to installation and beyond.
yes. Well, depending of the type of robot, the first step to understand is the need of the clients. If we are talking about, for instance, a hotel or any area that need, for instance, cleaning robots, the first thing is to understand the physical area. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
How big is the space? What type of the cleaning they are currently doing? What is the specific way that they are cleaning? Who is the personnel dedicated to that? And that is the part where our consultants, our technicians go and walk up the property to understand and hear about what is the current status quo, what they are doing right now. How many times are they cleaning? How many times they would like to clean? Because this is another thing. I mean, unfortunately, the people will be surprised how many times actually the hallways are clean. Sometimes the properties don't do it as often as they would like to do because it's lacking of personnel.
Yeah.
Sometimes you had a very a shortage. Most of the time, actually, you have a very big shortage of housekeeping or
Yes.
operational people. So there is nobody really available to clean. And
Yeah.
instead of doing it every day, they're doing every 4 days, every 5 days. So depending what it is. So when it's a little bit of time. So that is one of the advantage that we have with the robots. That actually, once actually we deploy the robots and one who do the workout and decide and do the suggestions and say, okay, you had this area with suggest this vacuum, this scrubber, this depending what is the area. We actually present our proposal. We offer actually the client multiple types of programs. They can do actually straightforward purchase, or they can do lease to buy, or a straightforward lease. So we are very flexible to try to work with the property to understand what are their needs, what present the solution, and one day we agree in the contract, then we start actually the big process. We actually do a kickoff, meeting to actually inform everybody inside the property what we're going to be
Yeah.
doing, and how long it will take the deployment. We keep them, the robots over there, and then arrive our technicians to do the deployment. We do the deployment, that is meaning the mapping, cleaning the map, putting the areas, doing the sequencing for the cleaning, how often it's done. But then we take also, and then we verify the map. Every map we
Right.
verify with the task 2 or 3 times, and after all of that is done, then we start to work with the people working in the property. the operators.
Gotcha.
We train the operators not only to operate the machine, initial troubleshooting, but also in the daily maintenance of the machine, because it's very
Right.
important. These are machines that actually get dirty. You need to
Yeah.
clean them. They
Yeah.
had actually the lidars and the cameras that you had to actually clean with a special, well, alcohol wipes, and
Yeah.
it is a machine that requires some maintenance, daily maintenance, to keep in tip-top shape and actually last how long it should have this kind of machine that is around 6 years
Right.
of lifetime. So after that, we actually start to leave the property, test and then for the first 4 weeks, we actually very close monitor the performance, because it's the most critical time, the first 4 weeks. The people is getting used to the machine, right? How I'm
Yes.
doing something work, not work, and that is the moment that we receive thousands of calls, technical support calls, and video calls. It doesn't work, it doesn't turn it on, and this kind of things. But it's a
Yeah.
normal process that it
Yeah.
would take care actually of that. And on that, then what we do actually to facilitate the process is actually we set every week actually reports calls to actually where we present the reports and analyze the performance of that
Right.
of those robots. The beauty about all these technologies is that they are connected actually with platforms that allow us to actually monitor the performance of the robot in a practically in a free way. We can
Yes.
actually see exactly where the robot had been, what it not had been. We can see it at each one of the troubleshooting, the warning signs. We can see also all the information regarding the performance, how much the machine had been working, how, in what areas. We can see
Right.
physically actually the maps and see actually the areas in dark green that had been cleaning and the areas that it missed. And then we will say, okay, what it missed? Maybe there was actually an obstacle over there and it went over it.
Right.
All of this information and data is very important to actually analyze the performance and see how every week we can improve actually the amount of the efficiency of the machine.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah, it seems you have a very excellent systems in place to transition and help customers and take them through to when they're and then when to the point of where now they feel comfortable and and they know how to operate everything. That's great. Um, what do you? Sorry, you offer leasing, rental, and sales options. Why is that flexibility important for your customers?
Well, because depending what is in the property, the type of property, type of business that we're talking with, we're realizing that actually, allocations of funding and in the way that the accounting system work in the different organizations is totally different. There are companies that actually do have the allocation of funding that actually can do the purchase straightforward, but there are other properties that say, hey, we don't have at this point and it will take too long to get actually the approval for this kind of budget. However, if we run it as an expense, as a leasing as an
Right.
expense, then we can start to do it. Can we work on that? And actually, I give the flexibility for that, because keep in mind also, this is no matter what, as much I want to put it in a very easy words and explain to the people, it's a new technology. The people have
Yeah.
to actually test it. And I am the first one to say, hey, let's start with the POC, proof of concept. You don't have to buy 1,000 and you don't have to do it the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's get one machine and test it, because I am the first one that I want to, I really, there is an educational part in element in all these projects that is actually you the people had to feel comfortable, had to understand what is actually the robot can do and cannot do, to actually
Yeah.
had false expectation about the robot. I mean, yes, the robot can go and can clean as close as it is to the edges, but guess what? In the corners, the robot cannot really go
Yeah.
into back and forth. It will never do it. So
Yeah.
this is a small
Yeah.
piece in the corner that then somebody eventually will actually have to take over that and clean it once a week or how often it is. So there is,
Yes.
I want that the people understand that and see it, but actually also see what is the advantage. of in efficiency, but also in the quality of the cleaning. It's always the same.
Yes.
It's consistency that
Yes.
actually these machines bring to the table.
Yes. Yes, and robotics are great for that, but they're not miracle workers, right? Like you said, the corners and different things. You know, even humans have hard time getting into the corners and
Absolutely.
doing proper cleaning. All right, so yes, so To Do Robotics has seen impressive growth since launching in 2022. What have been some of the key factors behind that momentum?
I think that one of the things that is that had been actually in the whole process is like actually the adoption of technology had been accelerated incredible due to COVID. The first robots that actually were really put in the market, it was out of necessity that they were the robots that actually were with the UV
Right,
actually doing the cleaning of the air and the sterilization. And that the adoption of that robot allowed actually a lot of companies to invest very heavily in R&D for navigation purposes, that actually it is the basics for all the other robots to continue to improve, like the cleaning robots or the delivery robots. So the technology was there. However, there was not 100%, but after COVID, that during COVID, a lot of companies actually went and developed a lot and invest a lot in R&D, and the result of that is better cameras, better
right.
lightings, better
Yeah.
sensors. And then we right now are taking advantage, and all the robots that are coming and that are in manufacture, a lot of them actually they are taking advantage of these new technologies and innovation that actually is coming into the market for everybody. You can build your robot, but actually you have to invest a lot in the
Yes.
algorithm, in the software.
Yes.
And then there are companies that have been working over 10 years, 15 years on that. So we are, what I'm seeing right now, and even in myself in the different models that I carry, is like they literally year by year, month by month, there is an improvement in this algorithm.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
something, a constant, really a constant improvement. And this is actually in the forms of upgrade of software, upgrade of hardware, and sometimes it's the combination of both of them. So this is what actually have accelerated. Together with that is also actually had been the situations, the political and immigration situation. They had a huge labor shortage here in the United States, in North America in general. So the possibility to have a machine to actually do basic job that
Yeah.
actually is done normally by blue collar people that is not available right now or available at very high pricing in comparison to the past,
Yes.
actually is the perfect storm to actually put and make this new technologies available to the market right now to get an increase in the adoption, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Oh, excellent. So the WBNC certification is a great achievement. How has being a woman-owned business shaped your leadership approach and the company culture?
It's a very interesting question because actually I always work in a world where I never perceive myself like a woman having a special power. I think
Yeah.
that I saw all the time myself very at the same level that my colleagues. What I did not realize is that actually it was I have an extra power that I never took advantage was I I was able for the people to connect with people in a different way. I'm able to
Yes.
actually try to see the standpoint and the point of view from my client, from my and also from the employees, and what is the need. I think that I am a little bit more open to that. I'm more flexible to work and try to solution and find timely solutions to the different problems that help me. I mean, also at the other side, being a woman, as I said, I had taken a little bit of the advantage with the manufacturers, and I think that they had been so nice, actually. They always had the impression that that I don't have the enough resources, and say, hey, we could, if you need, we can get an additional technician or another engineer with you that will give you
Nice.
support. So that really had helped me. And to be honest, it had made the difference, because in the way that we work together is, I'm very grateful for all the manufacturers to have this initial, you know, initial special eye on me, but at the same time, it becomes, they are surprised to understand, to and
Yes.
see how much I understand of the vision of the development of the in the robotic field and at the commercial side, because it is something is
Right.
in an industrial settings is different, but in the commercial side there is a lot of interaction with the customer, but also a lot of need by the customer and a lot of need for service and technical support, that actually I'm putting together different tools and different programs to actually help our clients to develop and to feel more comfortable with the product.
Yes. Yes. Excellent. Robotics and AI are evolving quickly. How do you stay ahead of technology trends while still focusing on customer service and results?
It's not easy. It's not easy.
You got
It's
that right.
actually not easy. It's very difficult. It's actually, as I said, we had more than 25 different robots right now in our portfolio. 15 of them are cleaning robots. Then we had the server robots, and then we had the specialty robots. Robots for different small things, from cleaning the windows to other things. Each one had different platforms, different algorithms, different technologies. In general, the principles of all of them is the same. However, each one of the manufacturer and even each one of the model had their own platform and their own software. So, and every 3 months, in average, every manufacturer send an upgrade of the software. It is a
Right.
challenge. It is a challenge to keep up to date. It's a
Yeah.
constant training that we, all our technicians that are, by the way, certified technicians by the different manufacturers, had to go through, but actually be up to date with all the changes, with improvement in the performance. Also, to being able to show this improvement to the client and take
Yes.
the client in the journey to improve also their performance. So it's not easy. It's a constant job, and this is part of technology to improve. It's a
Yeah.
constant evolving
Yeah.
evolving of this. So I'm
Yeah.
very happy, because at the same time, actually R&D departments are very open to hear from, actually, for us that are the ones working all the time, the third parties integrators, and actually distributors, resellers, because we are the ones actually on the field putting them
Yeah.
in the real life. And then we come back and say, hey, you have to do it more right, more left. You have to do a better lidar, or having a suction pump engine a little bit bigger, that kind of thing.
Yeah. 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 And for sure, technology. That's a good and bad of it. It's always changing.
Good or bad. It's
Good.
like, the upgrade. Sometimes, one of the things that I didn't say is, like, sometimes these upgrades have glitches. As everything. So, sometimes we try to jump upgrades. And they say, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the horses, let's not upgrade it, let's wait. So normally we try actually to test the upgrades ourselves first, be sure that actually are not giving any issues, and then actually roll it out to the rest of our clients.
Oh, perfect. So, what's next for To Do Robotics? Are there new sectors, technology, or partnerships on the horizon?
Yes, we are actually start to actually the process to partner with an additional couple of companies, start to do our baby steps in the industrial side as well, with people with different companies that actually learning about the IRMs and systems and robotics arms as well, to applications for industrial and logistic purposes. Similar with other additional, more companionship robots that actually are more applicable for, like, imagine pediatric usage, in hospital, pediatric hospitals, but also
Yes.
for senior living facilities, for instance, for companionship, literally for
Yes.
companionship, entertain the people, but actually there is a way with AI actually to integrate and telecommunications to integrate that platform of the robots with actually with doctors, with therapists, with different real usage, examples that we can actually integrate with the operations of the robot.
Ah, perfect. Good. So finally, how can listeners learn more or connect with you and the team at To Do Robotics?
You can visit first our website at todorobotics.com. It's TODO robotics.com. But actually, you can go, I invite everybody to visit our YouTube channel that is also To Do Robotics. And then you can see actually all the videos, the presentational videos for the different products and the different robots that we had, from the cleaning robots to the delivery robots, humanoids, semi-humanoids, but also cooking robots and other different kinds of robots that we have in our portfolio.
Oh, excellent. That's great. So, Marianela, this has been an inspiring conversation. Thank you for sharing your insights and the exciting work that To Do Robotics is doing to reshape industry across the country. So, to our listeners, if you'd like to learn more about To Do Robotics, you can, by helping businesses solve labor challenges you could go to todorobotics.com. And so that's it for today. And we thank you for joining the Business Exchange. And until next time, I'm your host. Take care.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
there we go. We got it done.
Thank you very much,
Thank-
Joseph. It was great. I love the flow
yes.
of the conversation. Actually,
Good.
I really like it, and I like. I mean, it's very interesting because for me, working in the robotics field, one of the things that really we need to start to do more often is actually start to talk about robotics in real terms. I cannot tell
Yes.
you the amount of conference that I had gone where actually I see professors of robotics of this and that doing a speech when I say that's not absolutely right. You never had put that robot in your life. Because this is a different in academia. There are a
Yeah.
lot of things that do not happen. It's not real and
Yeah.
not happen in the real life. In real life, is actually there is processes, there is things. I mean, we are
Yeah.
also because we work with robots that are way more mature into the market that you don't have to do certain things. So is that what we're talking about? It's beautiful to see all the humanoids and all the the Optimus or any other brand that you see like doing that, or the robot already fighting.
Yeah.
Man, I attend the last 2 years all the automate, I crash shows, the ones that really specialize, and we are not there yet. I would like to say, but we are not there yet, not even close.
Yeah, it's not like we're the robotics are in the from the movie Will Smith's I, Robot.
Yeah,
Like
no,
they're
no.
in the movie they have companions and
Oh, yeah.
servers at home and all that,
Well,
but
yeah, but not in the way. There is a reason right
yeah,
now, even for myself, I had sold multiple humanoids, but also to universities actually, or research
yeah,
companies that actually are developing the things. But it's still, one of the problems that we have right now with the humanoids are actually they are not stable yet. So that's why actually for me, if I had to even to systems to universities, I tell them start to test and do research and even software development in the semi-humanoids. Why? Because in the semi-humanoids, the base is actually the same base for the commercial ones. So it had wheels. So the robot is way more stable, actually.
yeah,
So you can develop more activities that actually allow stability. Unfortunately, with the robots, the actually humanoids that had legs,
yeah,
still, the
yeah,
capacity to actually obtain and going back into equilibrium is really, really
yeah,
non-stable. So you don't understand how many times you see the road like whoop,
yeah,
and go to the side. And I was like, and what happened to that? Oh, it lost it. Like, okay,
yeah,
we are not there yet. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
other issue with that is improving a lot is dexterity, the capacity of actually handle the fingers and to being soft enough to understand what is the amount of pressure or the delicate touch that you need to handle certain things. So it's a work in progress. Every day
Yeah.
is improving, but we are not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mind? Can I ask you a direct question?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So I want to, as a business owner, is what's keeping you up at night regarding your business? Any worries and wondering about this and that for the business?
Um, I'm very lucky because it's going very well. I realize that, but definitely one of the things that I actually is keeping right now is how to founding. I mean, how to grow, get the founding for growing. Because the issue is all of the manufacturers, as good as they are with me, and no, it's not with me, but with everybody. I mean, and it's not a secret. All these are Chinese manufacturers, and they had a way to do business that is very specific. They don't give conditions to anybody. You buy equipment, you
Yeah.
pay the equipment in advance, and then
Yeah.
you get it. So there is a
Yeah.
very heavy cash demanding. So our liquidity is always so. I had that. I'm lucky enough that I had been reinvesting, and also the government over here in the state of Georgia, in the state of Georgia, is very. I mean, they had really supported me and in different ways. Actually, with tax concessions and other things that really helped the business at the day at the in the daily day. But it is actually thinking about, okay, fantastic. I'm growing. I had three, five, 10 new clients line up waiting for equipment. And guess what? I had to tell them, okay, you had to wait 2 months because I don't have the equipment. Because the equipment actually, this is the other thing, because these manufacturers don't have inventory here in the United States. I'm the importer, so I have to get it.
Right.
This having and then I cannot tell you the headaches this year about that because all the taxes and tariffs, the changes of tariffs, my pricing had gone up, down, up,
Oh,
now. And then 2 weeks ago, with the president announced that I really threat about increasing again another 100%, an
yeah.
important threat. I said, like, no, I thought that we were having. Thank God, nothing happened. But again, this is actually my thing. In my wildest dream, I would like to actually eventually get the right people, right partner, right consortium to start to actually do OEM and even manufacture the robots over here.
Right.
Let's
Right.
be honest. But it's
Yeah.
something that it will take time. Even when
Yeah.
you are in the industry, the problem is that we don't have not only the machinery, forget about the machinery because you can buy machinery, but we don't have the human resources over here to
Right.
actually support this development, this manufacturing. We need to create actually the specifics, and unfortunately, what is actually the people that is coming out from the university had a very academic approach to robotics rather than more commercial. So it is difficult for me actually, and I'm here because here is Georgia Tech, that is one of the most important actually universities for development of technology in the southeast in the United States. But still, you feel that difference between what we do as academic or what we I can say, hey, like you can do develop what you want, but it's not had certain comply certain things, I cannot sell it. I cannot do service,
Yeah.
and it will be a faulty one. So no, so it will take time to arrive to that point. But right now, as it is, it's actually that inventory, having enough funding for
Inventory.
inventory.
Gotcha.
Actually,
So, is there any bottlenecks that you have now in any system that you're having or that you have that just sort of slows down the process, either finding customers or administration or?
well, yes. I mean, growing pains. We're in a small company, so right now it's
Yeah.
like we had. I'm acting also as a PM for more than 25 different projects, so it is difficult. So I'm trying to hire a PM right now to actually helped me to develop that. I had the system, but actually apply the system and be up to there. Right now, a lot of I share a lot of that job with my technicians, and they are very good on doing that. But we are overworked in that way. So and as I said, I mean, as the client mature, less need they had from us because they get more use. But the first 4 weeks for every client are heavy in demand because they feel
Right.
uncomfortable. They don't know. I did this and appear like this and say, and sometimes it's like, turn it off and on the robot. That's it. It's like glitch. Like, you do with the computer, and then it's like, really? Yeah, just try
Yeah.
again. And check it like 90% of the time that resolve the problem. But that
Gotcha.
is the idea. To have it, the whole thing. I don't know where the robot is lost, is not localized. How can I do it? You say, remember what we did 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
with the robot like this, and that. You know, it is you and this is the other thing. It's not that you are handling all the time the same person. You have 3, 4 people in for every place. So depending what day it is, you have different people handling. So it is part of the business.
Gotcha. So have you implemented any AI solutions into your business?
Well, yes, we have actually developed. Well, first of all, the delivery robots and even the cleaning robots, the new generations actually had AI that actually the AI that they had is actually learning better and better the areas and the map that they are cleaning. So every time that
Right.
the more they go, they know better the area and they go faster. The other thing, AI apply to the vision system where they actually identify even progressively more and more objects. So, for instance, in the past, a year ago, the majority of robots they were going through, and it will see cables in the floor. It will go through because it will not identify. The new generations of robots actually they actually start to identify, and when they see the cable, they go around. They start
Right.
to identify actually what is a debris or what is an
Yeah.
obstacle. And so these kind of things is actually where AI is actually implemented for the robots. So for the cleaning robots, for the
Right.
deliver for the server robots, actually we did a project with the manufacturer with Kudu. Actually, it's called the shopping assistant, where actually we integrate the AI capabilities because we have open API, so integrate the AI capabilities to actually connect it with SML, not a LLM because it was too much, but actually
Right.
SLM to actually guide. Imagine that you are in a store, you're right to Home Depot, the robot actually welcome you, welcome to Home Depot, how can I help you? And then you said, okay, I want a hammer. Okay, the robot integrate with the ERP system that give the inventory of the hammer and say, okay, perfect. I had multiple type of hammers. You had this, and this. Do you want that I take you to physically take you, guide you, escort you to one of them? And then you
Right.
say yes, select that the person will select in the screen the hammer that they want, and the robot say, okay, please follow me. And then we have actually a map the whole store, and the robot exactly knows what is that being, that is the scaffold. So he goes over there. When I arrive, hey, your hammer is in the serve order, at the right side. Let's put it this way. Do you
Gotcha.
need something else? So that
Yeah.
integration is one of the things. Now, it had limitations. What I say, that's what we discovered, for instance, is always listening. So sometimes it's like listening other conversations of other people. And there was like, okay, how to limit, and this is a big
Yes.
a challenge right now, how to
Yeah.
limit the noise. What is consist the
Right.
additional noise around to make no actually it's like having somebody that is hearing everything and answering everybody. So it is like a but there were some very things interesting, like for instance, because we did SML, we tested to say, okay, a robot that we actually upload with all the information about hardware stores and things in the hardware store. I say, I want to make I don't know, I want a lipstick. And then the robot will say by itself, I don't know how it comes, but then it comes like a, um, we don't provide that kind of product. However, you can contact Sephora. Out of the blue, I think, wow, how I can't do, but I answer myself.
Wow. One last question for you. Do you use AI for revenue growth, prospecting, finding new customers?
Uh, yes and no. In theory, yes. In practice, no. Because right now we are in a more in a, right now we have a lot of actually the way that we market right now, and we, keep in mind we are a small company. We still have a
Yeah.
small company. We're only three salespersons, people in the market plus the director of sales. So we uh, we are pretty much you know, our clients are coming mainly from the conferences and shows. That is our main feed. So from there, and it's very interesting because in the last 7 months, it had been more like an organic growth, where actually through referrals, through people, through this,
Right.
that we are really is like a, you know, is reacting. Is really reacting mode. Like we receive the calls, I want that robot, I want this, I want that. So it's going very good. So we had not really. I mean, our source right now is to, you know, try to at least touch base with all the leads that we're getting from the shows, and we are participating in a lot of shows this year because actually, first of all, to understand where are the shows that are better fit for the company and for our the different verticals that we are trying to approach, and secondly, because I do believe that the shows is that best way to actually demonstrate and show the robot. What I was telling you, one of the best point, the most important steps at this point is actually the creation of awareness, the education to the people about the robot, seeing the robot. A lot of times, because there is actually zero knowledge about the robot or the possibilities what the robot is. There is people, obviously, you know, it's everything. You see, this is the beginning of the adoption course of new technology. So
Right.
there is a lot of naysayers. It's never gonna work. But let me tell you, the worst had passed because it was rough 2 years ago. 2 years ago, seeing all
Yeah.
the shows,
Yeah.
I would see the people, it's never gonna work. They would say in front of my face, it's never gonna work. I say, well, you know, I'm here in case of
Yeah.
this.
Thanks for your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Well, fantastic. Thank you very much. But it will
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
ROI never fail. We had the results right now. We had the numbers. We had been in the market long enough, and we had the experience. And I can tell you, it's like exactly how it works. But it's also a relationship. The more you use the robot, the more positive ROI, obviously.
Yeah.
One of our challenges actually in some of the property is that the, you know, top management, yes, they are all on board, but the operational people, they don't want to use a robot. Literally, they
Right.
don't want to use a robot. And unfortunately,
Right.
sometimes, especially when the scenes are imposed from the top, it's very difficult to actually convince the market. So I think that
Gotcha.
is that's why I say those shows allow me to have first-hand interaction with the people in the middle. That is actually the key people, that supervisor, that person that it will go and start to really talk with the operator. That is the
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. I've been in sales for a very long time, and a lot of the sales process is manual, CRMs, and as a sales rep, most sales reps don't even want to touch their CRMs or update information in that. So I've helped companies automate that whole process. I don't know. Would it be terrible to share any ideas or growth plan in automating your sales process?
No,
And
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I will we're welcome to actually have a conversation on that aspect as well. We're I told you we're a very new company, and there are so much fields, and I mean it is really for us a challenge to actually help. And we had CRMs, obviously. We had actually worked with Hotspot, with the whole thing, and yes. It had been a challenge. I had let go people because of that, because I
yeah,
have the feeling. I mean, it's the only way, and we work remote because we cover all the United States. I had somebody that is actually in Miami. Actually, no, he's in South Florida in 4 miles. and then had somebody over here. I had somebody actually in Virginia. I had somebody in Vegas. So that having that people all around, for me it is. I know I don't have time to babysit people, but I want to see results.
Yes.
There is, I have been a salesperson, so I know what it goes. I
Yeah.
don't ask miracles, but at the same time, if you don't show me that you did your job, you didn't do anything. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can say a lot that you want, but if I don't see the number of calls that you, or not the calls, the contact, the minimal interact, I provide. So it is a combination. So, and you see, and everybody gets initially very attracted. Oh, these robots, etc. Yes, but still you have to do a sell. Still you have to go. I mean, even when I
Yeah.
provide a very good, and then of course I will assign projects because we have a demand also coming people.
Yes.
But that's I take care of that because obviously I not paying somebody to, it's not incoming position. It's
Yeah.
outgoing. You have to find one. So
Yeah.
it's a combination.
Yeah.
And yes, I would love to have a conversation regarding that.
Okay, perfect. Again, thank you very much for your time and all the insight. Wow, it's incredible how knowledgeable you are in the industry. So, wow, my hat's
Thank
off to
you.
you.
Thank you very
And I
much.
hope all the best. And I really, I'm glad that things are going well for you. So, yeah,
Thank you.
that's great.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, again, thanks for
Okay.
your time and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll
Bye
see
bye.
you. Okay, bye bye.